War does not only happen on the battlefield, it also happens in kitchens, in gardens, and inside quiet homes where families try to survive with almost nothing. During World War II, many families faced empty stores, no fuel, and broken supply chains. Food became scarce, power cuts were common, trucks that once brought fresh food stopped arriving, people had to find new ways to feed their families. One simple tool helped them do it. It was small, cheap, and easy to use. This tool was the pressure cooker. At first glance, it looked like an ordinary pot with a heavy lid. But during the war, it became a life-saving machine. It helped families cook faster, save fuel, and preserve food for months. In a time of fear and shortage, this humble kitchen tool quietly became one of the most important survival devices in the home. Before the war, many homes cooked food slowly over long fires. Beans could take hours to soften. Tough meat needed half a day to become tender. That was fine when fuel was easy to find. But wartime changed everything. Coal, gas, and firewood became limited. Governments rationed fuel just like food. Families had to make every flame count. This is where the pressure cooker became a hero. The sealed pot trapped steam inside. As the steam built pressure, the temperature rose higher than normal boiling water. Food cooked much faster. Beans that once took 3 hours could soften in less than one. Tough cuts of meat became tender in minutes. Families saved fuel and time. Mothers could cook a full meal with far less heat. In a world where every resource mattered, this simple tool made survival possible. The pressure cooker did more than cook food quickly, it also helped preserve food for the future. During the war, fresh food did not always arrive at markets. Farmers had crops, but transport lines were damaged or busy with military supplies. Families began growing their own food in small backyard gardens. Vegetables like carrots, beans, corn, and potatoes filled these victory gardens, but gardens produce food all at once. Without refrigeration, much of that harvest could spoil. The pressure cooker solved this problem. Families used it to can vegetables and meat safely in glass jars. The high heat killed harmful bacteria. Food sealed in jars could last 4 months on a shelf. A summer harvest could feed a family through winter. In this way, the pressure cooker turned small gardens into powerful food banks. For many families, this tool meant independence. Imagine a mother standing in a small wartime kitchen. The lights flicker, the shelves are half empty. Outside, news from the front lines brings worry every day. But on the stove sits a pressure cooker quietly hissing. Inside are beans from the garden, carrots from the yard, and a tough piece of meat bought with ration coupons. In less than an hour, a warm meal appears. Children sit at the table with full bowls. Hunger stays away for another night. That moment of relief mattered deeply during wartime. People did not feel completely helpless. With one pot and a little heat, they could still feed their loved ones. The pressure cooker became a symbol of resilience in ordinary homes. Governments soon noticed how useful this tool was. Wartime posters and magazines encouraged families to use pressure cookers for fuel-saving cooking. Cooking guides showed step-by-step instructions. Women's magazines printed recipes designed specifically for pressure cooking. Even community classes taught people how to use the device safely. The goal was simple. If families used less fuel and wasted less food, more resources could support soldiers overseas. Every saved pound of coal or gas helped the war effort. In this way, the pressure cooker was not just a kitchen item, it became part of the larger survival system that supported entire nations during the war. One of the most powerful uses of the pressure cooker was for foods that were once seen as difficult or undesirable. Dry beans, lentils, and tough grains became everyday staples during wartime because they were cheap and easy to store, but they were also slow to cook. Without a pressure cooker, preparing these foods required long hours over a flame. With pressure cooking, these humble ingredients turned into fast, healthy meals. Families made soups, stews, and thick bean dishes that filled stomachs and provided strength. Protein from beans replaced expensive meat. Simple ingredients turned into nourishing meals. In this way, the pressure cooker helped stretch limited rations into full dinners. Stories from wartime diaries show how important this tool became. Some families called it their miracle pot. Others said it was the reason their food lasted through hard winters. Farmers used it to preserve extra meat after slaughter season. City families used it to store garden vegetables grown in tiny yards. Even small apartments found space for jars of canned food prepared with pressure cookers. Shelves filled with glass jars became a symbol of security. Each jar meant another future meal. In uncertain times, that sense of preparation brought peace of mind. The design of the pressure cooker also made it reliable during unstable times. It needed no electricity. It worked on wood stoves, coal fires, or gas burners. As long as there was heat, it could function. This made it perfect during blackouts or power shortages. Families could still cook warm meals when lights were out and modern appliances failed. Its thick metal body lasted for decades. Many wartime pressure cookers continued working long after the war ended. Some even passed from parents to children, becoming family heirlooms tied. Two survival stories. After World War II ended, supply chains slowly recovered. Grocery stores filled again. Refrigerators became common in homes. Yet the pressure cooker did not disappear. People remembered how useful it had been during the hardest years. The tool stayed in kitchens across the world. New models appeared with improved safety valves and lighter designs. But the core idea remained the same: trap. Steam, cook faster, save energy, and preserve food. The lessons learned during the war shaped how people cooked for generations. Today, many people think survival tools must be complex machines or high-tech gadgets, but history tells a different story. Sometimes survival depends on simple ideas done well. The pressure cooker proved that during one of the most difficult periods in human history, it turned cheap ingredients into nourishing meals. It turned gardens into long-term food storage. It saved fuel when energy was scarce. And most importantly, it helped families stay fed when the world around them was falling apart. So the next time you see a pressure cooker in a kitchen, remember its quiet role in history. It was more than a pot with a lid. During World War II, it was a lifeline. In dark times of rationing, blackouts, and broken supply chains, this humble tool helped millions of families keep food on the table. It stands as a reminder that even the simplest tools can carry the power to sustain entire communities when survival truly matters.